A delta-wing interceptor powered by coal, capable on paper of reaching the incredible speed of Mach 2.6. It sounds like science fiction, but it was Alexander Lippisch's P.13a project, another of his radical ideas. This is the story of the P.13a and why it was never built. In 1942, while still working on the Messerschmitt Me-163 rocket fighter, Alexander Lippisch began developing a new, sharply swept, leaf-shaped delta wing, which he believed was suitable for supersonic flight. From this research came an even more radical idea, a hollow delta wing designed to integrate the propulsion system within its structure. Through a series of preliminary studies, including the P-12, this vision led to the development of the P-13a. It represented the further evolution of Lippisch's studies on the delta wing, a configuration designed to reduce aerodynamic drag at extremely high speeds and approach supersonic flight. The project featured an extremely compact design with a raised cockpit integrated into the large vertical fin, a landing skid, and outer wing sections that could be folded for easier transport. The reinforced structure was intended to allow direct attacks against enemy bombers. The P-13a was designed around an innovative propulsion system, a ramjet integrated into the wing configuration, capable of providing the required thrust at high speeds. The challenge was reaching the initial speed needed for its operation. For this reason, takeoff would have been achieved using a catapult or auxiliary rockets. By 1944, Germany was already facing severe difficulties. Allied bombing had drastically reduced the availability of aviation fuel. Lippisch therefore imagined a radical solution, using coal as an alternative fuel for his ramjet, transforming one of the most readily available materials into a possible source of thrust for an extremely advanced aircraft. The design envisaged coal in the form of small granules contained inside a rotating metal drum within the intake duct. Once the required speed had been reached, a burner would ignite the coal combustion, producing combustible gases. These gases would then be mixed with air entering through the intake, where combustion would continue inside the engine duct before being expelled through the rear nozzle to generate the required thrust. Several months later, Alexander Lippisch had moved beyond the P-13a project. His mind was already focused on an even more advanced evolution, the P-13b. Yet he did not completely abandon the work. To prevent the young students from Darmstadt and Munich from being drafted into an increasingly brutal war, he ordered the construction of the DM-1, an experimental glider intended to verify the aerodynamic characteristics of the P-13a. This reveals a more profound side of Lippisch, not only a prolific designer, but a man capable of using engineering as a shield to save lives. He himself could never have imagined how the P-13a, through that experimental glider, would go on to have an enormous influence on the development of aviation in America and around the world. But that is the story of the DM-1, which we will see in the next video.